If you are looking for the best VR headsets 2024, well, you're in the right place. We've dug deep and conducted extensive research, and now we're breaking down the absolute best VR headsets 2024. We're talking about the perfect balance between price and performance, tailored for different scenarios. If you're eager to find out which suits you best, don't go anywhere. Stick around until the end because we've got all the links for the best prices in the description below. No specific order, just the top contenders in the game. Ready to dive into the world of best VR headsets 2024? Let's get started. Number 5. HTC Vive Pro 2. It doesn't come cheaply, but if you're after the very best in PC VR visual fidelity, the HTC Vive Pro 2 should sit near the top of your list thanks to its borderline absurd 5K resolution. Just make sure you've got a seriously powerful PC to make the most of this admittedly experimental headset. It's admittedly difficult to recommend the Vive Pro 2 as a commercial headset. The wired headset requires several cables for it to function properly, meaning managing it as part of your PC gaming setup can be stressful. Plus, all that power means it can start to run hot after just a short session, so we'd say it's best enjoyed in shorter bursts. The HTC Vive Pro 2 is one of the more expensive VR headsets on our list, coming in at $1,399/1,299, which includes all cables and a pair of motion-sensing controllers. It's available at most major retailers, though we'd certainly suggest waiting for a significant price drop or sale before committing to a purchase. We've been harsh on the Vive Pro 2 so far, but we can't ignore the strengths it boasts over other headsets in this list. The Vive Pro 2 is capable of outputting a 5K resolution. That's an astronomical 2448 x 2448 pixels per eye, a 120-degree field of view, and a 120 Hz refresh rate. Yes, you will need an ultra-powerful PC to make the most of it, but the Vive Pro 2 is capable of providing some of the most accurate and immersive visuals of any headset on the market right now. The HTC Vive Pro 2's super high-resolution screen is a sight to behold and represents the future of immersive VR. But the virtual reality headset's outside-in tracking system and oversized controllers are starting to feel behind the curve. Number 4. PSVR 2. The original PSVR had its share of shortcomings back in 2016, most of which have been brilliantly addressed last year with PSVR 2. Sony has set a fundamentally high bar for any future console-based VR headsets and comes highly recommended from us if you own £5. PSVR 2 has a pleasing rounded silhouette that matches the aesthetic of the £5 console. Compared to its £4 counterpart, it's phenomenally easy to set up with just a single wire needed to connect it to your £5. The setup phase doubles as a tutorial, walking you through features like eye tracking, room space visualization, and the new pass-through feature that lets you view your surroundings at any time at the press of a button. PSVR 2's price will be a sticking point for many. At $549/£529/AU$879, it is cheaper than many PC and standalone headsets. On the other hand, it's more expensive than the £5 itself, which has proven to be not such a good look for the average consumer, especially as PSVR 2's software library is quite small at present. PSVR 2 exclusive games like Horizon, Call of the Mountain seriously impress with stellar image quality. Meanwhile, solid ports of PSVR favorites like Tetris Effect, Res Infinite, and Moss return looking better and playing more responsively than ever. The device is massively helped by its 2000 x 2040 panel resolution, allowing for much clearer image quality. You may struggle to find and maintain the headset's sweet spot though, meaning you might find yourself readjusting the headset during sessions. However, our guide to the best PSVR 2 accessories can help to make this process significantly less stressful. Number 3. HP Reverb G2. The HP Reverb G2 is an excellent headset for anyone looking for something slightly cheaper than the Valve Index or HTC Vive Pro 2 and something easy to set up. Although it's not as accurate as the somewhat pricier options, it's a fantastic alternative that still maintains the visual enchantment of VR gaming. If anything, the HP Reverb G2 exceeds visual expectations and presents an entirely new experience while undercutting the cost of its peers. The HP Reverb G2 is an incredible bang-for-your-buck headset that's very smartly designed. It avoids the screen door effect that plagues many a VR headset, and out of the box, it's extremely easy to set up. The only really irksome thing here is a multitude of wires, and the Reverb G2 does require a PC unlike Meta's offerings. You'll also need a decently powerful PC thanks to the headset's high-resolution output. Additionally, since it's compatible with Steam VR, you'll have no shortage of games to play when buying this headset. The HP Reverb G2 can be picked up for $599/682 from most major retailers as well as HP itself. That's expensive on paper, but its relatively high-end features make it one of the cheaper offerings for what you're getting overall. The HP Reverb G2 features an impressively high resolution of 2160x2160 4K per lens. That's pretty exceptional for a headset that's relatively low price, and that image clarity means you won't be dealing with image ghosting or smeary visuals throughout your playtime. The headset is slightly let down by its motion tracking precision, which isn't quite as accurate as other pricier options. Still, it's surprising to see just how much the Reverb G2 gets right at its lower price of entry. Number 2. Valve Index. The Valve Index is one of the best VR headsets because it represents a next-gen system compared to its predecessors. We found it has a crisp display that runs well even with older GPS, a wider field of view, a higher refresh rate, and Valve's knuckle controllers, which can track the movement of every finger. The Valve Index certainly looks the part of a high-end headset, but that means it also requires a complex setup and a powerful PC to match. In fact, our least favorite thing about Valve's headset is the setup process, which requires several wires and a dual camera setup to work properly. Make sure you have enough desk and room space, not to mention a few free power outlets, to ensure a seamless experience. The process is worth it, however, as you'll be treated to an impressive wide field of view and full Steam integration, making browsing your existing library in VR a cakewalk. Availability for the Valve Index has greatly increased in 2024, much like with some of the company's other hardware such as the Steam Deck. Priced at $999/919 pounds/AU$1,425. There's no getting around the fact that it's an expensive option, but if you've got the budget for it, it's one of the best options on the market right now. The Valve Index is a significant upgrade over both the HTC Vive and the HTC Vive Pro. The Index also offers a much higher resolution screen and a better refresh rate, which in turn lowers the risk of discomfort or motion sickness. We're also huge fans of the Index controllers, their knuckle-shaped design proving to be a fantastic layout for VR play. The Valve Index is the next-generation VR headset we've been waiting for, but the Steam VR platform on which the headset depends is still capricious and painfully hard to troubleshoot. At $999 for the full package, Valve's high-powered headset is an expensive portal to the future, and one that we'll use almost exclusively going forward. But it's powered by decades-old software. Number 1. MetaQuest 3. The MetaQuest 3 is the new king among the best VR headsets you can buy today. A significant improvement over the MetaQuest 2 and coming in at a relatively affordable price point among other headsets in this list, it's easy to recommend as our top choice whether you're upgrading from prior hardware or diving into VR for the first time. The MetaQuest 3 is impressively compact, requiring no extra cameras or wires during play. It can be played as an entirely standalone experience, free from cables or extra bits that could run the risk of tripping you up. All the headset's features can be accessed while wearing it too, including its home and storefront, providing a seamless experience that doesn't require you to take the headset off. It is worth noting that the MetaQuest 3, while far from the most expensive choice in our list, is pricier than its predecessor. Coming in at $499.99 for the 128GB version and a loftier $649.99 for the 512GB model, it is a costlier investment overall. It helps, then, that the Quest 3 is compatible with the existing Quest game library. If you're upgrading, you won't need to purchase all those games all over again, which we feel takes some of the sting out of the chunkier price tag. Other improvements include support for a wider 110-degree field of view and an increase to 2064x2208 pixels per eye for a richer, sharper image quality.